Hello there, everyone. It is Kristi. Welcome to the happy hour. We know that the world is a shit show, as always, for 2020, and we're going to be dealing with that in an upcoming happy hour. But because we had this on the schedule and prepared, we are going to pretend like the outside world does not exist, and we're just going to watch and review. Well, not going to watch, but we're going to review the. Would you call it amazing? Was your mouth dropped open in amazement from time to time at this movie, Kevin?
I'll be honest. This film was so great that I am literally dead. I'm speaking to you from beyond the grave in this show.
Yep.
It stole my life from me, this movie. That's how amazing it was.
Yeah, that's my former co-host, Kevin Logan, who died from laughing at one of the scenes in this movie.
Well, several of them. I died many times. If I were a cat, I would also be dead. That's how many times I died.
But before that,
it's awful.
You've got something exciting to share with us, I think. Some updates, interesting experiences.
Indeed. Over the weekend, the Surfs, who I know you've had some issues with and stuff, whatever in the past, but I've always gotten on with them. They're generally good folk. They invited me onto a charity stream they were doing for Maine.
Just for the record, I've never interacted with them to my knowledge. Just FYI, I just like.
Oh, okay.
I don't agree
Apologies.
with all that. Yeah.
Apologies. Okay. But for Maine Transnet, which is like a trans charity in Maine, which is a part of the United States, which only exists as an independent state because of slavery. It's complicated. Anyway, but that was a long time ago. Anyway, so it's like a trans charity thing. And it was mainly done, I say mainly, the impetus for it was that Jeremy Quartering, the Quartering, Jeremy Hambley.
The basement pisser.
Yes, the basement pisser himself, or as I like to say, the creative urinator. He thinks outside the box, and by box I mean toilet. Okay. He said, "Oh, these commie larpers won't. They want to debate me, but we're going to put $5,000 to a charity," and so they chose. Like a trans charity. Jeremy went, "No, I'll choose my own charity. You give money to your one," because he didn't want to give his money to a trans charity, because just in case, just to underline how much of a bigot he is.
And he is
anyway, so they said $5,000, right? So Jeremy gives $5,000 to, I think he's giving his dogs for veterans or something, and the Surfs were going to give $5,000 to this charity. So they had a stream to raise the $5,000 because they're not like super rich or anything.
So I'm sorry, I'm kind of confused. Is this like an entry fee to debate? Why are they? I thought they were going to debate.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently so. But it doesn't even matter because Jeremy backed out because he's an absolute fucking coward.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so they pissed past $5,000. They ended up raising $45,000, which is amazing. Well done to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I popped on. They did it for like fucking 2 days, basically, solid. There was some strong H-Bomber guy vibes going on.
Okay.
So I popped in like 2 or 3 times to the stream. First time I got on, I was chatting with a guy called Vermin Supreme, who I'm sure many people listening will know, but Kristi didn't.
Okay.
Who is? Hang on, should I screen share?
Yeah. Let me go ahead. Wait. Stop. I'll stop screen sharing.
I don't even have permission to screen share, Kristi. That's interesting, considering we literally discussed it off air.
Yeah,
Kristi.
well, you still have to ask.
Kristi Winters.
You still have to ask.
What the fuck is this? Some sort of dumb situation?
Yeah, a little bit.
Ask nicely, or Kev doesn't get the fucking the permission to share the screen. Anyway, this is for your benefit because you're the one who doesn't know who he is. Anyway, this guy, you might have seen him around the place. He's like a pretend politician who wears a massive Wellington boot on his head. He's quite famous. Look, he's speaking in front of crowds and shit. Anyway, and I ended up talking to him, and he was sort of not a hero as such, but like quite a cool dude. And I ended up talking to him about his cock live on stream, as you do. And I genuinely felt like an out of body. I felt like I was high as shit. It didn't seem real at all.
How did that come up?
But then it got even weirder because I came back. Because he was naked, literally.
Oh, okay.
And they know this for a fact because the Surfs almost got their channel nuked because the first time they had Vermin Supreme on, not only was he on camera, because there were loads of people, it was all voice this time round. But when he was on before on his own, he was had a camera on and he was literally naked as the day he was born. and started showing off a book he'd written, which included some tasteful but still graphic pony-based erotica. And nearly got the Surfs channel nuked. Thankfully, he didn't in the end. So his credentials are known. He was totally naked, and he said he was wearing the boot on his head. And I asked him which head, and the conversation then started about his sizable cock and whether that boot would actually fit onto it or not.
Now, is he British or is he American?
No, he's an American.
Oh, okay.
He's an American, yes.
Okay.
He actually ran to be the Libertarian Party candidate for president in 2016.
Okay.
But Gary Johnson won. And that was clearly the better choice because Gary Johnson didn't even know what Syria was, apparently. So that was great. Oh, no, was it Aleppo? Yeah, he didn't know what the city of Aleppo was, even though it was being bombed into the ground by everyone at the time. Anyway. So, yeah. So that got anywhere, right? And then my head nearly exploded when I came back on about 1, and they were due to have already finished because I just logged on to watch the hockey, right? The ice hockey playoffs were happening. So I thought, I'll jump on again. And who was in there? None other than Chelsea fucking Manning.
Wait,
and I just ended up having to.
Isn't she in jail?
No, she's now out of jail.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, and I ended up just having a nice chat with her and some other awesome people. And I just thought, this isn't happening. I'm going to wake up in a minute. Because I'm a twat who does fucking YouTube videos in his pants.
Well, at least you're wearing
pants.
pants.
Chelsea Manning. This isn't real. Yeah, unlike Vermin Supreme. Yeah. Anyway, so that happened, and a good weekend was had by all, or at least by me.
Glad to hear it. Glad you had a much better weekend than I did. I was ill. So I'm glad one of us had fun.
Eve eating the apple.
Yeah, that must be it. No, I don't want to cancel that. I don't want you to leave the meeting. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong button to press.
Wow, okay. You do one performatively sexist joke and she tries to kick me out of the fucking room. Jesus.
Yes. All right. Yep. Okay. That's everything, I think.
Anyway, so it's film time.
Oh, yes.
There's nothing else happening in the world apart from this movie.
I mean, loosely defined, I guess it does qualify as a film. Oh, should we share the amazing IMDb page that I showed you earlier? Because, to be honest, there's one character whose name we can't even remember. So I thought, that's fine. I'll go. There's a wiki on everything. On the most random stuff, there's wikis. There's no wiki for this movie. So I was like, and I looked up Leap 2010, and there is an entry, but as you can see here, it just says, it says, a group of parkour practitioners come to the realization that they're living in the end times. And then I was like, okay, so let's see the cast. They didn't even bother. Like, the cast is more than 2 people. when you asked,
not much more.
Not much more. To be fair, that's an accurate statement. But there is a slightly longer one. I mean, Chris Temple could be bothered to write out some sort of summary. Maybe they took this off YouTube. I don't know, but they certainly couldn't be bothered to add on their actors and actresses.
Yeah.
All right.
3 college students start learning parkour and lead their trainer to Christ over the course of a couple of couple Bible studies. Come on, America, you can do better than this. Grammar-wise,
they're Canadian, I'm pretty sure. By the way,
I don't care. That's North America. You're all inbreds, all of you. They learn that they're living on the brink of the end times and must learn to be strong as their faith is tested, as the groundwork for the mark of the beast is laid out.
Was that the film we watched?
No.
No,
not
that
really.
Wasn't the movie we watched at all. That actually it would have a lot more plot to it.
Yeah, that suggests there's an actual story to this film in some way, or happen, and they don't.
No, absolutely not.
That's the prerequisite of a film, is that some things happen.
Pretty much, like some things happen. Then some other things. But
this film cuts against the grain. This film has decided to go the opposite direction and have no things happen. It's a USP, you know.
All right. No, unlike other times where Kevin did actual work during screenshots, since it's on YouTube, I was like, well, we can just have it on YouTube and let it play in the background or whatever else. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to I'm just going to fast forward. Very important. The scriptures in this film are all accurate. No, actually, the scriptures aren't accurate. The quotes might be accurate, but the scriptures in this film are definitely not accurate. Because
shite.
They made
absolute shite. Yeah.
They made the movie saying the end of the world was just like around the corner, and that was 10 years ago.
But it is, Kristi, any day now, and you can tell that because of things that have happened, that are still happening, that will continue to happen in the future forever.
All right. So the movie opens to a black and white scene where there's a washed out. Well, I guess we have to get the skinniest arms on a kidnapper ever.
Yeah, that was literally my first. I wrote down, and foreshadowing, it's not a guy. Oh, spoilers, Kev. I said skinniest white guy kidnapper ever is literally the first sentence I wrote on my notes.
Yes.
Because look at the arms on that. How would those arms kidnap anyone?
Well,
they're a fucking... You couldn't go into a fucking childhood leukemia ward and kidnap someone with those fucking arms.
They are pretty skinny. They are pretty skinny. So yes, we cut to this black and white visual of it's the back of a car. You can kind of tell from the seats. And this character
also white balance. Fucking white balance, people. Come on.
It is.
You can't see the outline of his fucking face. Where does his ear end and his face begin? I don't know.
Can't tell. It's just one big block of white. In the car, he is challenged by the person holding the gun using one of those voice maskers. Rah, rah,
which
rah.
Wouldn't work in that situation because it works down a phone because the phone can only hear your voice in that one direction. Whereas if you're in an enclosed space very close to someone, they would hear that noise and your actual voice. So it wouldn't work. Absolute nonsense.
But they edit the movie to make it work. So, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, that is one of the rare bits of the video that they did actually edit properly. So, yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So, yes, the person with the distorted voice demands to know whether or not this person...
I'm spoiling it.
The woman is demanding that who will learn is Flyboy whether or not he believes in God, and he very pensively sort of like thinks about it and takes a deep breath and says yes, and then we hear there is well, I don't know what you want to call that look.
Whoa, okay.
That reminds me.
I was about to say one of them shoots. It looks like the other one did. Yeah.
Who was the guy who was wanking on air?
Oh, the Dark Side Phil.
Yeah.
DSP. Yeah.
That's kind of the end shot there of his video as well.
Yeah. Anyway, and then so she shoots him.
We think.
The skinny man, that's what it is at the moment, shoots him and then roll credits.
And that was the end of the movie. No, unfortunately, we had to sit through another 20 minutes of it. So
yeah. It would have made as much sense, to be honest.
So it opens up on what's obviously like the college campus. Most of these shots are done for free, either in like the college campus grounds, the student sort of like a student gathering area, or the student Christian center. And maybe his house. Pretty sure some scenes are filmed in his house. We have three characters from the left going right. There's Tina, Sierra, and then a guy whose name we can't remember, but he is of your...
Firstly, it's Tina the slut.
That
was what was decided. Okay.
She's a bit flirty and clearly not the true Christian by the end of the movie.
She's a harlot. She's a harlot. Come on now. Then there's basically from left to right, it's ascending levels of racism in this cast here. Okay. Tina, slutty white girl, sort of vaguely indeterminate, might be American, might be a bit foreign, and then a guy whose name we don't know, but we're calling him Yuri because he's a very racist stereotype of an Eastern European. Yeah,
like if you heard a Brit and you just called him Ian or something, like we're kind of doing that version of that.
Like at one point when they say the word when he says the word parkour to him, he goes, "Par what?" in a really Eastern European accent, and I mean, that was the first time I died, I think, in this film. It was so embarrassing.
Oh, yes. And should we show off a little? I guess I've got it at 2x speed at the moment, which we don't technically need because we're not playing it back. Yeah. But you can see that there's constant movement of the camera. The idea of a tripod just doesn't kind of occur to these people. The idea of a pan shot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awful. And look, and I noted here, the worst shot composition in a movie ever. And it is. I mean, look, I just step back a little bit.
Yeah.
Get the three of them. You don't look. Then you've just got half of faces in shots and stuff. It's just really cluttered and shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's shoot for the edit, man. Give yourself some space to work with. You don't want everything cropped so closely.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can't actually
exactly.
do
if you zoom out and see the whole thing, and then you decide you want to close up, you can do that in post. It's fine.
Yes, exactly. Use your post-production time.
And
plan
these
effectively.
Two, by the way, yes. The fact that these two didn't fuck, is the most disappointing thing of the film, because they clearly want each other. I'm disgusted.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely
it's a Christian film.
I've actually, like, I don't think I sat through it, but I've because of God Awful Movies several years ago, I was aware of it. I didn't realize there was like a love subplot going on between these two, and they go on like the worst date ever, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some dates in my time. I've had anything quite like, well, we'll get to it, but
yes.
It's atrocious.
So we're introduced to Tina, Sierra, and Yuri, who are just average people doing their average kinds of things, talking about life or whatever. You can see here Yuri's going to be heading home when he sees something absolutely amazing, which is this.
Which is basic bitch parkour.
He's going over a rail. He's going like basically what you see kids doing on a schoolyard.
Yeah. The thing you learn to do when you're like 7.
Yes.
And this blows Yuri's fucking mind, because in Eastern Europe, they can't even afford parkour.
He has just got like such a man crush at this point. He has to know more about this guy. And so we are introduced.
Exactly.
Do you want to say
amazing lighting, because you can't see the main character's face in the first time you see him in the film, which is always a good sign.
Right.
Like, he's been on the screen for like 10 minutes or 10 seconds now, and I still haven't seen this man's face, basically. He was whited out in the first scene. Now he's blacked out in the second. You think, I don't know what your main character looks like already.
No.
Like,
but he's got the best suntan lines on the sides of his face from wearing like his Oakleys or whatever.
And you'll notice sleeveless.
Yes, he's got to be showing the guns.
Yeah.
Definitely got to be showing the guns.
Exactly. His very, very mediocre gun show.
So there we go. That was Flyboy.
Like, no offense. Like, he doesn't look, he's in good shape, but that's, if arms like that, they don't need to be out. Like, you see a big buff dude and he's got everything on display. You think, you know what? He's worked hard for it. Fair play.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, there's nothing. Like, I'm not intimidated by that gun show. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's better than the kidnapper, ironically, because that's who kidnapped him. But you know.
So yes, absolutely. He's not that fit. He's not that amazingly fit, and he's fitter than me. Fair enough. No. I mean, I don't think
he's actually very good at. I don't think he's actually very good at parkour.
No. I mean, to be fair, although I couldn't probably lift as much as him, I definitely could manage to throw my leg over a railing that was about not as high as my waist.
Yes, basically, yeah.
So Yuri,
I mean, that was. I'm relatively tall. I think I could possibly step over that rail. Like, that's not impossible. So it's not that impressive, really.
Yeah.
Although it's arguably far more impressive than the leap of faith, the ultimate cliffhanger bit later on in the film, which is fucking embarrassing. Yeah, just punched it. All this talk of gun show, the adrenaline is pumping.
All right, so here's Yuri looking amazed Like, again, it's not really his character's name. I don't remember, but
his tiny Eastern European brain is absolutely fried by this amazing American parkour.
And I want to say, I felt bad initially at the fact that I couldn't remember the character's name because I have seen it a couple times. But then I went and I saw that the director of the film couldn't be bothered to like actually enter in the character's name.
Does he actually have a name? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, to be honest.
So I remember Sierra and Tina, but I don't remember anyone saying his name. So.
Well, you don't need to, because in Mother Russia, parkour's you. That's an internet meme from years ago.
All right, so it must be another day because the girls are wearing different tight-fitting clothing. But
although that's not a consistent theme in the thing, because they do that later and they're wearing the same clothes. That's true. Who knows?
Yes. So they are.
They could just be a pair of smelly bitches who had to go home and shower in between. Who knows? I don't know.
They're back on campus leaving when Yuri sees them and stops them and says, "Hey, I saw the most amazing thing yesterday. There was a guy and he was doing like acrobatics."
Look at those fucking ears. Oh my word.
Yeah, it gives you something to hang on to there, Kevin.
Yes, exactly. Because I like to pound from behind a good piece of racist Eastern European stereotype.
Polish. Maybe he's Polish. Maybe this is what you've been. This is the one you've been waiting for.
Francis, this is what you've been after all this time.
Use his nose like a credit card and hold on to those ears.
Well, I am a certified freak 2 days a week, usually Mondays and Thursdays.
All right, so yes, he tells the women about this amazing thing, and they decide to meet up later and look at somebody. Oh my gosh, look at the lighting difference between these shots. I guess the sun came out. The clouds parted.
Yeah.
Here's the shot 5 minutes ago. Here's the exact same shot.
For fuck's sake.
Learn how to light your scenes, for God's sake.
Well, no, I think their lighting consists of the sun.
Yes, definitely. Like this, hey, the sun is up.
To be honest, if you're a Christian, the sun is the ultimate lighting rig.
Yes.
So,
oh man.
You wouldn't want to mess with God's design. God made the ultimate one. Why get any kind of fluorescent bulb or ring light? Unnecessary.
So yes, they decide to get together in this terrible lighting and watch a video.
Even watching it like this is so annoying.
This is what they watch when they find the videos on YouTube.
But there are
what is this?
They couldn't.
What is that?
This would be surely this would be transformational to watch an actual parkour video.
Yeah.
Because there are some amazing parkour videos on YouTube, some brilliant ones, and slot a 10-second clip of it in here instead of this guy pretending to be a dog or something.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that is.
I don't understand why that's considered a parkour move.
And why is this being filmed? Like, it just looks like it looks like it's them watching it through a window as well.
Yes.
It's a really awful effect. Like, yeah, we get it. They're watching a video.
Yes.
But it just looks like they're watching it from outside a window, which is awful.
And the women are amazed. I think Sierra says, "Are you sure they don't use any wires?"
To do the dog down the stairs, yeah. That's...
Yes. I mean, they're literally hopping.
Well, I don't know how they managed it.
Yeah. They're not doing anything more than, like, this guy doesn't even make the full, like, he only makes it to the other side of the
Again,
space.
If I stand on one of those walls, I could possibly step to the other side. That's not that impressive, guys. Come on.
And you can definitely tell that Tina's acting by her eyes. She's got the most overly expressive eye expressions of anyone. See, there she goes. You can just watch.
Well, that's known in the business as slut eye. It's actually a well-known technique in the acting biz.
Ah, okay. Well, she's doing it. She's great. So Marilyn
Monroe was the first. She It was her technique. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. So Sierra and Yuri, who are spending a bit more time together, go and spend.
But don't bang at any point.
No.
And this is the same shot again.
Yeah, so true. It's coming around the same
I hate
corner.
this film.
So Tina's like, I'm going to be a good wing woman. I'm going to leave you two alone. Actually, she doesn't. Oh no, it was Sierra who's leaving. But anyway, now there's no establishing shots. We made this comment at the end of the movie.
No, it's difficult to know. The transitions between scenes are impossible. One, especially glaring one later on, and my fucking brain I genuinely nearly melted. My anus prolapsed with anger. It's impossible to know. Is it a different day?
No,
has some time elapsed? has Slutty McSlutface just physically just begun to exist again in this thing next to her? Did she never leave? Was she temporarily invisible? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it literally is just medium shot after medium shot after medium shot after medium. There's very occasionally a wide shot, but there's no like establishing shot. Like, hey, here's a university campus, and then we cut to 3 kids walking on campus. Then, hey, here's the university student center, and we cut to people. No, it's just continuous shot after shot after shot. So, yeah, they go looking for
amazing.
They go to the same spot, and again, handycam. And they are amazed because, like, they can't find him. They can't find where he was. He wasn't doing the same railing he was doing the previous time. So they go in search.
Because he's a parkour ninja. He just appears randomly in places.
Yes.
I'm not sure he's a physical entity. He's more a spirit.
That's true.
And in order to see him, you truly have to believe he's there.
Yes. Please walk in the shadows of the trees so we can't see you at all. That would be awesome.
Oh, jumping over low tables. Good.
Yes. Sort of rolling over picnic tables or whatever and jumping on things. Yeah. And then he does these little jumps to show how cool he is.
Okay. That's fine. That jump from one table to that seems like a bit of distance, but it's not that great. Like, this shouldn't blow your mind.
Absolutely not.
It's just annoying because this is not how people act, and the dialogue is enormously stilted, and the acting is more so.
So yeah, Yuri introduces Flyboy to Tina and Sierra. And then they ask about doing parkour.
Well, I don't think we should call him Flyboy. I called him Parkour Man.
Parkour
Because not
Man?
only does he only do parkour and that's it, but he also has a T-shirt which just says Parkour.
That's true. He is Parkour Man.
Yeah. So Parkour Man. Or Parkour Man. That's just his surname. Yeah.
And then they, for some reason in the dialogue, they ask him, can anybody do it? And he says, yeah, sure. And then they talk for a little while.
No, you need a special license, you silly fuck.
And then Sierra says, can girls do it? As if a woman her age would ask that kind of question.
As if anyone like this. What do you think the world is that you need special permission to jump on stuff? Like, it's not, like, they're just doing it. What? If you were at college, how do you not know any of this? How are you this isolated from the rest of the world?
And look at that.
Doesn't make any sense.
Look at that lack of any kind of filter lighting. Just, it's all straight on sunlight. Yeah. That's it.
Is there a building there? I don't know. There looks like windows, but that just could be my mind imagining something that in this film is happening.
Yeah.
Which, again, we're 8 minutes in, nothing has happened.
No. Oh, by the way, this is 72 pixels per inch, so like this is HD. This is the HD version.
Yeah. This is actually. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can go up higher than this. You can technically get to 1080 on most.
Yeah, but why?
Matter. Even if they did a digital remaster of this film, the quality is shite.
They don't have anything to work with.
No.
All right, so they decide to get together the next day.
Again, the lighting is literally the sun.
Yes. You can just tell there's no even attempts to like do any kind of like side lighting or backfill or anything. Yeah. And they decide to join him to do parkour. So then again, we just cut to another medium shot. It's never ending listing.
Well, I genuinely, this confused me enormously because this cuts to, I'll reveal for you, I'll do the job the director couldn't be bothered. That they are watching this. This is a film. Mm-hmm. Okay? This is a clip of a film that is being watched on a television. Not that you would know until much later, and so you're already confused and drawn out of the story completely. See? That's Parkour Man and Mrs. Parkour Man who are watching a film. But already I'm listening to what these two are saying because I'm thinking to myself, oh, it was a film. Okay, that doesn't make any sense.
I think you wanted to watch the film they were watching. It looked more interesting.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because she's being chased in the woods or something. You think, okay, at least something is actually happening in that film.
And by the way, you can tell that this medium shot was constructed in order to get the katanas. I think those are in the back corner.
Yeah. Because when other people were studying filmmaking, we're studying the blade.
Yes.
That's another old meme.
This is basically a pointless scene. It's meant to establish that they're dating. They don't actually really like each other.
No, although they seem at times, their dialogue indicates that they're deeply, madly, passionately in love and betrayed by ex. Doesn't really happen, but anyway. But yeah, they don't actually seem to like each other at all. Sorry, I got
Orion in the chat saying that those are seis. Weapons, not katanas. Thank you for the correction. I don't do those things, so I appreciate getting the right word.
No, they're katanas.
They're seis.
We've decided, Orion. Too late.
She asks him to make decisions because he's the man in the relationship. Yes. And he uses his man powers to ask her what she wants to do.
Yeah, exactly. Because, and again, I think this is supposed to establish that he's like a nice guy, even though he's such a prick, this character. He's such an arrogant twat. And you think, what? Shut up, you dickhead. Anyway. So yeah, they don't. Yeah, this dialogue's awful. But basically, they're dating, and they agree to train these three people she's never met Parkour, because that's literally all they have in common, it seems.
Yes, and couples always sit on opposite ends of the couch and make no physical contact to show how much they love each other.
Indeed. And not just that, but they're constantly having arguments about their seis or katanas. Oh, they can't decide.
Yeah, but they actually
nightmare.
Look at this. They actually set the scene up so those blades are in the leftmost third of the shot.
Well, what's the point of having katanas / seis if you don't show them? It's like having mediocre-sized arm muscles. What's the point if you don't show them to everyone? You know?
Yes. Also, check out his awesome DVD collection, because that is pretty good for a college student.
So 2010. So 2010. Although I came up with what I think is the best joke, certainly better than any of the nonsense in this film, because they're doing stuff about prophecy later on in front of that rack, and I said, well, clearly God couldn't prophesy the invention of Netflix.
Nope. They definitely put too much money in physical discs. All right. So next up,
indeed,
we have... because again, well, I guess this is more of a long shot. They actually broke up the monotony, but then we're right back to the medium 2-shot format, or 3-shot, depending on how many people are in the scene. But
those arms look familiar on the left there. I can't work out where from. Strange.
Foreshadowing. And then we get the newbies in. They are introduced to Flyboy's girlfriend, who's called Sweetheart. That's her parkour name. And Tina's wearing fucking jewelry.
It's Mrs. Parkour Man. Please.
Yeah.
And they're not married, but it was just coincidence. They had the same surname.
And then Tina decided to wear jewelry to Zumba class, basically. I mean, I don't know why that was a good idea.
Well, because you're doing spinny, flippy stuff. Who needs two eyes? You don't, do you?
Yes.
Just one. You've always got the other one. Spare.
There is some uninspiring banter. And then they go for a run to show how unfit everyone is.
They just run off around the bush.
Yes. Just have a little jog.
And these two arrogant twats are just like, oh, you're tired, are you? Ha, ha, ha. At which point I'd have gone, fuck this, I'm going to the bar, you fucking horrible bastards.
But then we get our first...
I don't need this shit. I thought we were going to do some parkour and you're taking the piss. Fuck off.
But then we get our first non-montage montage, Kev. You want to talk us through that?
And the montages. Oh, my God. Oh, the montages. Again, montage is specifically meant to shorten the telling of a bit that's boring. So they're going through physical training, which is boring to watch because nothing's really happening other than they're running. But yet the montage goes on and on And it's not a montage then. You're just showing us disparate clips of nothing.
In black and white.
In black and white.
With heavy
set
guitar.
To amazing, amazing heavy metal, but the entire fucking heavy metal song, including guitar solo.
Yes, that's basically it. It lasts the entire the instrumental guitar song. They just like, oh, here's a song. Yeah, that's 2 minutes.
It's like a fucking 4-minute montage. That's not a montage. I'm sorry, no, that doesn't work.
He's teaching them to do somersaults and they can't fucking do that. Like, they're getting it wrong. Look at Tina's like barely able to do hers.
Well, she hasn't had cock in 10 minutes. She's all over the place. She don't know what's happening. Jesus.
So this goes on for freaking ever. I mean, it does. It goes on for several minutes.
Jesus.
And then it ends. I think they just like have some conversations.
No, still nothing's happened.
Oh, no, but
minutes in film.
Nothing's happened. There's the important ice bath point, Kev. You're forgetting all about the important ice bath scene, right? Because Flyboy tells them.
Yeah, I've written down as notes. She can't climb stairs properly. Ice bath.
Yes.
Which is this bit where she can't climb stairs properly because of a relatively mild amount of physical exercise. I don't know if this person was previously wheelchair bound or something, but unless your legs muscles have atrophied recently, this shouldn't cause you this much agony. I'm sorry, you didn't run a fucking marathon here.
No, it was like a light jog and some
rolling about a field. Yes. Set to heavy metal, set to some pretty righteous heavy metal, albeit overly long.
And then she gets, for some reason, in the ice bath in her clothes because, that's what you do.
And this is the point at which I realised they're actually just filming this in student digs. Like, this is literally just a student's bathtub. It could even be her own bathtub. I don't know. Yeah, I literally asked that question, Sean. Why is she holding her tit? What happened to her tit in the course of this non-physical contact situation? I don't know. Anyway.
So they meet up with Flyboy again, and they're all in pain. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. After tomorrow, you'll never feel pain again." I'm like, "Well, that's a lie."
Exactly. What about if someone shoots you? No matter how physically fit you are, that's going to hurt.
So after he's put them through this punishing pain and they're all in agony, they decide they want to hang out with him more, and they invite him over to their youth church evening thing. And he asks what they do, and they fucking lie. Yuri says, we hang out, play games, Bible study. All they do is fucking Bible study. They didn't play any games there. They got there and they did Bible study. Total bait and switch.
Yeah, exactly. Which is unlike Christians because they rarely lie.
No, never.
They're usually very straightforward with their intentions towards new recruits to the cult.
And they also,
and then this is the weirdest. This is the weirdest scene
because they extended the invite to Sweetheart as well.
To Mrs. Parkour, Mrs. Mr. Parkour. They're having a discussion about whether she wants to go whilst they're traveling to the event rather than at home, so she didn't go in the first place. But anyway, she's an atheist. He's also an atheist, but he's just going to go along to indoctrinate people into the parkour cult or something.
Well, no, because their religion is parkour, Kevin. That's what he says.
Yes,
our religion is parkour.
Although clearly we discovered later that this guy's actually just an Alex Jones freak who's trying to indoctrinate the religious people. Yes. So, but anyway, he's like, "Do you want to get out here?" And she says yes, and then he just she just gets out and she's just in the dark on her own somewhere.
Yeah, she says,
the middle of,
"Let me out here."
Wherever what place this is.
Yeah, she says, "Let me out here. I'll get a cab." Like, from fucking where are you gonna get a cab, girl? That's a green screen behind you.
Exactly. Well, they just walk outside the studio to the parking lot and just hail down a cab. Yep. Probably a built-up area. It's probably the middle of Los Angeles or something. I don't know.
Yep.
And then, perfectly normal behaviour, Mr. Parkour Man, in the dark, to people he's only just met, decides to jump at them out of the dark.
Yes. From the darkness comes the ninja parkour.
You're surprised. This is America. You're surprised you didn't get shot.
Again, I think it was filmed in
Canada. He jumps over the rails at them. You'd get stabbed. You'd get fucking cut up. What are you doing? You idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So now
no establishing shot, but this is a church they're walking into.
This is their Bible study. We're supposed to infer that because they're there. And he's like, oh, this doesn't look like a church. And as you can see, this scene is lit from, I think, a bunch of lamps on the floor. You can see the shadows that they're throwing.
You say a bunch, but it's a. And this guy, who I nicknamed Godzilla Tintin.
Yes. Because
he's fucking huge, like Godzilla, and he has the haircut of Tintin.
Mm-hmm. He's the youth pastor.
He is the youth pastor. He is Pastor Godzilla Tintin. Which is, I mean, if your surname's Tintin, probably don't go with Godzilla. He's got a surname already. You know?
The guy is
look how much taller he is than the other.
Everybody.
The other humans, apparently.
He's like 7 foot tall, that guy.
Yeah. Exactly. Not just that, but if there's that much of a height disparity, don't film it from that angle, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
What are you doing? He looks 10 feet tall in this.
I think the problem is that was the height of the cameraman.
Shouldn't this guy be fucking harassing downtown Tokyo? Usually it's the fucking Japanese military tackling him, but apparently now he's just a pastor in Canada or something. I don't know.
I like the effect that they decided to really balance out the light in the shot by turning this one off and leaving the other two on.
Yeah. That's fair
Just
enough.
take the bulb out. That's
enough.
fine. That'll be lit.
Yeah.
Enough.
That's fine.
I got
and
these
again,
on the floor.
Again, it's just a lamp on the floor. It's a lamp on the floor. It's absolutely horrendous.
See, the thing is, before, if I wouldn't have been making YouTube videos for a couple of years now, I wouldn't be able to do the kind of critique of this movie that we're doing with the editing shot and stuff.
But it's such a weird composition, this. To film it at that angle with the sloping roof and everything, it looks a little bit like your brain's melting and the world's become a little bit MC Escher. Yeah, it's just becoming a little bit lopsided and angular and weird. It's very strange.
Haruka wants to know if it's Pastor Steve from Blue's Clues. I don't
know what that is, but clearly not, because this is Pastor Godzilla Tintin. Please, you have some fucking respect for this man of God, this ancient medieval megafauna of God.
I think the real problem here was actually the director, whoever was the camera operator, which I think was also the director. Because I thought initially that Flyboy was the director, but then I looked at El Directo because he did a commentary on his own movie 10 years on. Which
no.
I didn't watch. He did. It's on this channel.
We have to.
All right, we'll look at it afterwards. We'll look at it afterwards.
God. No.
And the pastor guy is Steve from Blue's Clues. Got it.
He's an actual actor.
No.
Oh wow! Well, I did not know that Godzilla had so many scaly fingers in so many pies. That's good.
I think the problem is the cameraman is doing everything handheld, and he's as much short to Pastor or to Godzilla here as everyone else. Like, they can't get him at his height because they don't have a tripod. So they have to film him from underneath.
You have to film it at that angle, because if you film it from normal angle, you'll see his tail, and that gives it away, you know.
So here's a shirt.
He's got, not only has he got a t-shirt with parkour on it, but you need to see a front-facing close-up of the t-shirt, because this film is not directly on the nose at all.
No, and I don't remember him doing that move. Maybe when he does the granny whatever thing later on.
No, it looks like a move, but actually that's just him lying down on the sofa with his hand on the floor.
So they start talking about parkour, and the guy says, "Oh, are you Tresseur?" He's like, "Oh, Tresseurs are pretty. I'm a free runner. We're efficient." And he's like, "Oh, that must take a lot of talent." And he goes, and Flyboy says, "Thank you." Like he's accepting a compliment about himself. He hasn't even seen him run. Oh. Yeah. He did on the picnic table. I think he was just doing somersaults. Go ahead.
The pastor lets out a massive roar, and
can we go back and look at this sweeping pan shot where it's just the tops of their heads in order to get him in frame. This next shot coming up right here. Yeah. Where is it?
Yeah, just hang on a second.
Zoom. Just decapitates.
He must
all the actors.
Be fucking 3 feet taller than these people. What the fuck? And look at that! Look at the monstrous shadow. Yes. His dick's on the ceiling. What the fuck?
It's on top of Jesus.
Yeah. You don't want to be your dick on top of Jesus. Well, unless Jesus is into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I was asked if I think there's a boom mic. I think they may have ADR'd this entire thing because all of the voices sound, except for one scene at the end, which we won't spoil, where there's a lot of traffic. All of it is super controlled. So I think they might have had to film this movie and then dub in all the audio afterwards because all of the audio sounds like it's in one space. It doesn't change at all.
Yeah, it sounds all, yeah. Well, I think there's not really a boom mic as such, but what there is when Godzilla Tintin is not on screen, he just holds a microphone, and his 20 feet arms are good enough for a boom mic situation. Which is why the audio in this isn't quite as crisp as the rest of the movie, because he's on screen and that would look weird. But look, you can see his fucking bulge on the wall. It's weird.
All right, so again, Yuri lied. It's all fucking Bible study. They're not playing any games. They're just sat there with their Bibles. And then we have to sit through the first of a couple Bible study scenes where they start to, they pray and they start to talk a little bit, I think, about the end times. Did you have any notes on the first Bible study that I'm missing from memory?
Yes. Homophobia, HIV,
oh,
guns to the
God,
pastor.
Yes. Yeah. So this is painful. He basically, yes. You want to go ahead and describe it?
Yeah, they're talking about the end times, and he literally, unless you could tell it's a Christian movie, 20 fucking minutes in, he just decides to reel off a direct quote directly from the Bible, which goes, again, like the montage, far too long, ridiculous.
Yes.
About the end times and how the world's coming to an end, and then closes the book, and then does the typical douche pastor move of like, doesn't that relate to the world we live in right now? You know, guys, yeah, do you think? Yeah. And then starts going on about like there are wars and diseases like HIV and stuff. And you think to yourself, well, yeah, but that's happened forever. That's not a new thing, dude. Wars and diseases have existed since humans have existed.
Also,
isn't like, I mean, what?
Yeah, they definitely.
Surely if the enter. During the Second World War, I couldn't understand end time shit because that seemed like the end of the world, right? Whereas now it's like, in the West, it's like the most. Canada is arguably the most peaceful place that has ever existed.
Yes. Although I think now that I'm saying, well, at least the director, he lives in Montana now. I think he said he moved out there. But anyway, it was filmed somewhere in North America, like you said.
That's close enough.
But the thing is, at one point they say, oh, this started with the Second World War. I'm like, no, the end times, what do you like? It takes decades for the end times to come? How does that work?
Well, the devil doesn't like to arrive unfashionably early to an event. So he's thinking, the Second World War started. That'll be going in 90 years, won't it? Yeah, I'll take my time then. Yeah.
Also, as a tip to any directors, do not give your talent chairs that swivel. Because when you do, they fucking swivel in their chairs like this guy does throughout the whole fucking scene. Because he's nervous.
To be fair, he sat on a massive lizard tail. Leave him alone. Yes. And it can't be comfortable for him.
It's also very important that you position your actors so they have a line running through their skulls the entire scene. A wooden railing.
Yeah, that's not off-putting.
No.
Well, no, you'll notice the normal-sized humans don't.
No, they don't have that problem, but Godzilla Pastor does. Yeah, so Yuri, gives Flyboy.
So yeah, there's some homophobia about like the gays and how HIV was sent as a punishment by God. That's normal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's really, really ugly homophobia in this. But Flyboy decides, oh no, y'all are trying to make me into a Christian. I'm up and out, and this does go on. I'm gonna fast forward because we're at minute 20.
And then Yuri does the thing where he's like, we're not trying to indoctrinate you. We're just trying to
help you.
Indoctrinate you. Like, yeah. Dickhead.
Yeah. So Flyboys, I've heard about this end times and Jesus stuff now. I've decided I'm leaving, and he decides to go. So that was a 6 minutes.
Great acting. So emotional in that face. Yeah.
Did they make
6 minutes. Most of which is him directly quoting from the Bible.
Yes.
They're awful.
Also,
look at that 1990s TV.
Yes.
That's lovely.
It's like,
sorry.
Hey everyone, let's put all the shit in the room on this one corner, and then leave this other wall completely blank, because that'll look balanced in the film.
Yeah, it's really well put together. The composition of the shots in this film is, I mean, genuinely awful.
Well, it was important to get this wire in. It was really important to get this wire.
Yeah, that wire. The Christmas lights that aren't on, so they just look dead.
Also, we know
as lifeless as the acting in this movie.
And we know from looking at a calendar, it's August when they're filming this, because they've got like a calendar up in the background. Also, it looks to be summertime, like before classes start. So yeah, he goes storming out. I'm out of here. Oh, man, this sucks. But I don't want to. Oh yes, and then but see, the seeds have been planted. So we have this weird overhead hand cam work where he's just staring at the ceiling.
Which just looks like... Yeah, but it just looks a little bit like someone's drugged him and his killer is filming him before the act. It just looks really strange. And yeah, and then this is... I mean, we can just play this scene through because this is just them doing... This is apparently parkour.
Yep.
Apparently, it isn't at all. It's just them jumping over a bar repeatedly, and they're talking like, "Oh, we're atheists and we don't believe in the gods." And then he's like, "Yeah, but what they said in the thing was really convincing."
Yeah, the stuff that the Bible says it's happening today. I'm like, the stuff that the Bible says has been happening every single day because it's very generic things like earthquakes and illness. Ooh, what happened to the screen? I don't know. I'll go back. Go back to theater mode. But he can't get it out of his mind. Yeah. So he has to go back to Pastor Godzilla.
And the stilted dialogue between these two, who apparently are a couple, is quite something.
Oh, yeah. There's no chemistry between these two at all. At all.
One of them have. No, I don't know how... these people are not... They don't... I mean, they are technically actors. They're in a film, but that's about it.
Yes. Yeah. And in terms of, like, the necessary criteria have being met, sufficient, I don't know. But, oh, look, he's got a book on the rapture on his desk right here. And a sumo
fax
wrestler.
Machine.
And a sumo wrestler. Like, and a fax machine. For some reason, he's got a sumo wrestler.
I mean, well, Kristi, it's because he's from Japan.
Oh.
As previously discussed.
All right, because he's got some. Okay.
Yeah.
That's his souvenir.
See, fuck's sake.
It all makes sense.
It reminds him of home, Kristi. He can't go back there. Things happened. He doesn't want to talk about it, okay?
He's got some warrants out on him. Oh my gosh,
exactly.
Look at this. Look at the...
But anyway, he takes time off from Godzilla-based paperwork to talk to fucking Parkour dude.
Yes, he does. And basically, it's sort of like, you don't have to be a Christian to come to our group, but you'll become one if you stay long enough. So they have a little back and forth. Hey, you know, some of the stuff you said is staying with me, blah, 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 blah. So he meets up again with his Christian buddies.
Look at that acting. Look how acting he is.
Acting.
Yeah.
And they're going to do...
This is not ham at all. No, it's brilliant. But now, you know, this mildly high piece of concrete that you can just walk around. They're going to jump over it for no reason.
Yes. He's going to teach them how to leap over a waist-high wall. And, you know, as if, you know, you need a professional to do this. And what we get again, I know you guys have been waiting for it. Oh, yeah. It's another montage.
Another 4 fucking minute montage.
And Tina fucking sucks.
And I wrote down black and she does.
Well, she's wearing super tight clothing.
I literally noted that. Well, of course she is. Yeah. Well, that's typical slut behaviour. What more do you want? Jesus. Anyway, by the way, I'm just playing into what the film is doing there. I'm not, you know, she's just an actress. A very shit
I'm sure
actress.
She's a nice.
Anyway, I just wrote down, woman fucks up landing, but they kept it in the film anyway.
Yeah. It's realism, man. It's realism.
Yeah.
In that way.
It is. This is fucking hell, this is awful.
And yeah, everything is...
You see what I mean by I died? This film sucks the soul out of you through your arsehole. It's ridiculous.
Ooh, look at that. Fancy. All right, so they do some more parkour.
But this isn't even fucking parkour. It's nothing.
No,
this is nothing.
It's just hopping. And then they try to get him to come back to like the Jesus thing, which he doesn't want to do. And then we decide...
But again, the unnecessary close-ups. There's always unnecessary close-ups. Pan the fuck back, mate. Jesus.
Change it up a bit.
Oh.
All right, so then we get the really
anyway,
important...
these two who blatantly need to fuck. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, so what happens here is they get done, everyone else leaves. He asks her if she wants to go on a date. And then that's to say, he gets the smile when he gets the yes. And then they immediately cut to this scene, which is them doing what I would call like rappelling. What did you call it? Abseiling?
Abseiling. I called it basic abseiling.
Okay. Why is
That's literally what it is.
Okay.
Because they're just abseiling down a rock face, and that's it.
I call it rappelling, but I'm sure it's the same thing. And then they just cut to this. They just cut to this out of nowhere. And you're like, who the fuck is that? Is that Sierra and Yuri? And again, montage that goes on for fucking ever. Why?
Yeah, because they thought, well, we've paid for an abseiling afternoon for these two. We are going to get our money's worth in the film.
That must have been it.
We're going to watch the same basic clip of abseiling down.
Over
Again, not even a particularly big piece of rock or anything.
No.
Like, it's pretty basic stuff. And what, as Kristi pointed out, what an amazing date where you don't speak to each other at all because you're like 50 foot apart, up halfway up a cliff.
Rappelling for Jesus.
Is that what it's called in America? I didn't know it was called rappelling. Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I've learned something there.
Yes. But you do get a tushy shot.
That's the sexiest shot of the scene.
That is basically the sexiest shot of the whole movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's as close as you get to anything, which is quite a break from the... I mean, to be honest with you, as gratuitous as the tit shots were in Zardoz, at least tits are nice to look at. This film's weak.
So then they cut to them having a conversation basically about Flyboy, because that's what you talk about on a date. Is somebody's not there.
As they just bundle up the rope.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't imagine her pussy's ever been drier.
So,
unless she was married to Ben Shapiro, I suppose, then maybe, but you know.
Yes. So if we return back to Flyboy on the couch, his permanent state, when he's not hopping over mid-sized, waist-high rails, he's on the couch. Yeah. Those are his two places of existence.
And even when there's no one to see the gun show, it needs to be around.
So remember, it's been, well, we can't tell how many days it's been because there's no sense of time in this.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know how long. This could have been one day. This could be 10 years down the line. Who knows?
I guess
he could have done a stint in prison. Who knows?
The first day was the day we saw Yuri met Flyboy. And then the next day they did the research and then they went out and looked for him. So 3 days. Then they had, the Bible study? Another parkour session on the same day that he went to see the pastor. So maybe a week. We're talking maybe a week. And he's been to one Bible study. And he had one meeting with the pastor. Yeah. But now Flyboy... He's really thinking about whether or not he should accept Jesus and take the leap of faith.
So you're thinking this is going to be an amazing, massive jump. This is going to be huge. Oh my God, is he on the ledge of the Empire State Building here?
Yes.
Oh, this is tense. This is tense.
And then they pull out, actually for one of the few wide shots in this film, and you learn, no, it's just a fucking two-story.
No, it's just, no, it's nothing.
It's a garage.
It's like, it's a 10 feet drop, which, you know, is something, but it's not, you don't even see him land it.
No, so now he's a Christian, everybody.
So now he's a Christian, but he already basically was anyway, because we didn't even mention in the one fucking prayer meeting thing he went to.
Oh, right.
They were discussing the existence of heaven and hell, and he accepted all of that. He was like, that's all true. So you're basically already a Christian. You just don't like Jesus yet. Oh, and now you do. Oh, brilliant.
He's like, I was a good person.
What a leap of faith that was.
I'm a good person. I'll go to heaven. And they're like, oh, it doesn't work like that. Like they fucking know. So now here he is, a happy Christian with his Bible. Great shot. I love the fact they get the soles of the shoes in there. That's important. That's important for the shot composition. Make sure you get his dirty running shoe bottoms in the scene on that ugly ass couch. Can there be more patterns? By the way, there's like this pattern, there's a stripy pattern, then there's also this more elaborate pattern. And for some reason, there are these poles in the back of him for some reason. Yeah.
Well, I think this might just be the living room of a student accommodation.
Maybe.
I don't know about you. It looks like that. That's what this looks like. So yeah, we've just seen the least impressive or noteworthy
inspiring
conversion to a religion ever.
On my couch.
This is supposed to be something that's life-changing. Evocation of passion towards the almighty creator of the earth, the skies, the planets, the fucking universe. And it's just like, yeah, I believe now.
Now this is when he starts to put his Alex Jones worldview into the Bible. He's starting to read, straight to Revelation. Exactly, Haruka. He's going straight. Nobody reads the Revelation and understands what apocalyptic literature is the first time because it's really difficult. But he's like, oh my gosh, there are things in here I understand. And he's looking, look at that. He's having ideas. That's his ideas face. Big stick. No idea what that is. And some random fucking masks. So I think the next scene is another Bible scene because we didn't have enough of that before. But we'll find, yes. Then we...
No.
Again, no establishing shot. We just cut to them in a public park, I guess, in a shelter.
Yes.
You want to
with the worst continuity pizza situation you will ever see in a movie.
Yes, keep an eye on the pizza. The pizza changes.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, for a start off, why are they letting that pizza go cold? That's an outrage. Secondly, there's a massive chunk of pizza and then one slice off to the side. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it isn't. Who knows?
Yes. So they start to have another conversation about the Bible, as you do. Godzilla's changed his shirt. He's gone for camo today. He wants to blend in with the wood. Rather than
because he knows the Japanese are after him. So he's got to blend in, you know?
So this is one of those Bible studies where they like read a passage and the Bible pastor says, hey, this is what you're supposed to think. And they all like look up and go, oh, okay. No critical thought, no real questions. It's just all blind acceptance. Oh, yes, this is true because it says so, because I'm filtering it through my current 21st century worldview. But then yes. Flyboy has an insight. He has an amazing insight. I'm trying to get to it, where he brings out a piece of paper that's supposed to have, information about chips being put into your skin. And he noticed that it's just like the Revelation part at the Mark of the Beast.
Yeah, but the weirdest element of all of that is, rather than saying, that's an interesting analogy, thank you, Flyboy, was it? Is that that's your real name, is it? Okay. Well, thank you, Flyboy. That's an interesting contribution. Can anyone else say something not crazy? You know? No, they just go, yeah, that's true. No, that's probably true, or that could be true. They just all accept that is now reality, that they're going to start putting chips in people.
Yes.
So he's gone full Alex Jones, and rather than them converting him to Christianity, he's converted them to fucking QAnon.
Yes, basically. Basically, he's saying, I was reading this thing, and it's just like the Mark of the Beast, and they're going to tell us it's about keeping your data secure or your money secure against fraud and whatever else, but they're going to want to put chips in us so that they can't be lost because a credit card can't be lost. Oh, yes. Let's see this amazing thing that he found. Sorry, I'm just waiting for it. He's explaining his conspiracy theory now. And he pulls out a blank sheet of paper.
Yeah, and he literally sounds like an Alex Jones monologue. If you start screaming about Justin Bieber and gay frogs, I swear to God.
So they have a conversation about how, yes, pretty soon they're going to start putting chips in people, and then we're going to know that it's the end times. And once again, the Bible study scene just goes on for fucking ever, because this is the real meat of the movie.
And they start talking, this Jesus Christ, this film good. And they start going about premarital sex as well, and how that's bad.
Look at Tina.
No, exactly. And he literally does. He goes, He looks over at Tina like, you fucking disgusting slut.
Well, there was a scene in the earlier Bible study where Flyboy says, I don't think I'm a good person. I'll go to heaven. And Pastor Godzilla says, oh, we've all sinned and fallen short of God. You have, I have, Tina has. Just like picks on Tina.
Yeah. Tina's the only name he mentions. Mm-hmm. So he's clearly like, everyone knows about you, Tina.
We all know.
Okay. You're sinning. We all know. Okay.
All right. So they're all going to pray now.
And
that
unlike the rent boys I use, you're giving it away for free.
Yes.
So outrageous.
All right. So we have phase 3 of parkour preparation for the big show that's going to come up. But weirdly, this one...
Oh, the big show. Oh, my God. I've forgotten about that. Okay.
So now he's going to teach him how to get up walls. And so there is an extended... I think actually I can probably do this in ×2. We'll do playback speed 2x here. Oh, that's not fast enough. It's got to go faster. But for some reason, to go up to this sort of 5-foot wall or whatever it is, they don't do the montage.
To be fair, it's a little bit taller than that. It's got to be 6-7 feet maybe. But it's not crazy tall. But all I noted from this was lots of probable tit squashing. Because that's literally the only thing I thought would be remotely interesting about this scene. Because it's literally just them first failing and then succeeding to climb up a moderately difficult wall to climb.
Enjoy one of the few wise shots in this movie right there.
Oh, actually, it's probably not that. Is that the same wall? I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. But we're back to sleeveless shirts. It's very important to notice.
Yeah. Look at the mediocre gun show.
Yes. Then he
Tiki masks. Look at his awesome masks.
Yes, and
what a dirty bastard he is. Just dirty shirt on the floor. It's a white shirt as well, so any tiny stain. And then his girlfriend turns up and is like, "We've got a date," and he's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna go and suck Jesus' dick instead." Ah, and then she leaves or something.
Well, she gets upset.
No, she called. Oh yeah, they discuss it, and then they kind of break or something.
Yeah, they have a fight because he's wearing a Jesus cross now, and she's like, "You're a Christian."
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know that. He comes out to his girlfriend, and they make it into being like she sees him hanging at the back of a stud or something. No, it's just a cross. Like, you might go, oh, that's it. Okay, that's interesting. That's a new thing about you. And you might be incompatible on that basis. But you wouldn't go, oh, you're a Christian now. Oh, my God. And then storm out. No, who reacts like that? The fuck?
Also, apparently, Tony... Yeah.
They're katanas, so shut up in the chat.
Also, look at this great shot composition. It was really important to get this ugly ass lead that's coming out of AC unit or something.
It's called, Kristi, it's called realism.
Yeah, that
if you can't handle this much edge, go to bed. Come on.
So she says you have to choose
safe space away from safety tags on plugs. Is that what you want?
So, Flyboy stands up sweetheart for their date, basically. Forgets about her entirely because he's so busy with his new Christian friends. And she's like, this is bullshit. It's either me, your girlfriend, who you're supposed to love and have an emotional connection to, or your Jesus stuff. And he's like, I'm picking Jesus.
Which is ridiculous because A, your girlfriend is definitely real, and Jesus might not be. And B, Jesus isn't going to help you bust a nut. So,
But that Batman Forever poster might. Also, look at the taxidermy. This isn't student digs. This is someone's parents' house. This is a basement somewhere. Because look at this
probably. Shit. There is a serious amount of tat going on in this film.
Yes, lots of shit to dust.
Not even yard sale worthy. Just bin it. Fucking hell. Look at the masks. Get the fuck out of my face.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So she fucks off and they're like broken up. And then he calls the three of them round. And apparently, even though they're students, they've got nothing to do at that immediate moment whatsoever. And just go around to his fucking house.
He's like, I just broke up with my girlfriend for you guys. Can you come hang out with me?
Yeah.
And they start talking, oh no, the end times. It's going to be the end times. What can we do? What can we...
Look how fucking bored Sierra looked in that shot. She could put some fucking passion into your performance, for God's sake. She's just like, I might actually kill myself. This is too embarrassing.
So, yes, there's a medium shot of them all.
With the most amazing lighting in the history of mankind.
Yes. And then you want to talk about the amazing idea they have, Kev? Or Flyboy. Oh, yes, they go for
yes.
Okay, there's two ideas.
They go for a night... Well, yeah, there's two ideas here, right? Firstly, Slutty McSlutface decides that they should get T-shirts for the fantastic idea that they come up with about doing a youth outreach thing on campus.
Yeah, they're going to...
For Christianity or something.
They're going to do parkour to convert people to Jesus. And they're going to get matching T-shirts.
Look at that face. That is not hammy at all.
But
anyway, so they go for a nighttime run, but specifically remember the T-shirts, because this, genuinely, I wanted to write a strongly worded email, because that's what the terms of service will allow me to say, towards the director of this film, because it is an egregious thing. Anyway.
Oh, they go for a stealth run. They go for a stealth run. You want to know what a stealth run is, you guys? Imagine.
It's shit parkour at night. Yeah,
basically. They just go out.
Including one bit. Oh my God! I died. There's one bit, if we fast forward through or whatever, where she doesn't even jump over a thing. She just puts her hand on it and then swivels her legs around the side of it. Which that's basically just going around a thing.
That's coming up.
Look, this isn't parkour. They're just jumping over a bar, right? So they're doing that thing where they're jumping over like the corner bit. But notice in a minute what I think it's Tina does. It's
coming up here.
Oh, it's so bad. Sorry, so they're just jumpy, very unimpressive.
More montage. Montage.
Yeah, needless montage. Yeah, we get it. It's parkour. Look, she just walks over that.
This
amazing.
That's the one.
Yeah. That. Oh my God, my fucking brain exploded. Oh, Tina.
It's always fucking Tina. All right, so they have more filler.
Tina has sinned. We all know that. We've seen it.
All right. So
so they then go. So then it cuts back to them in the thing, and he's got the fucking T-shirts.
Like the next day.
But he doesn't even tell you it's the next day. I was thinking, because it's nighttime again, they've gone out for their stealth run and gone back to his for no reason, and then. They've got the T-shirts, but it's a different day now, apparently. But they don't tell you that. So I'm like, no. She said get T-shirts, and he had T-shirts, but he didn't decide to tell them that until they got back. Oh, no, you learn later on in the scene it's a different day, but they didn't tell you that.
No, of course not.
Fucking hell. Like, this genuinely angered me. This scene fucking angered me. Because I thought that's so embarrassing. It's so easy to do a transition from one day to the next, do an establishing shot, show the sun maybe rising or falling or something. It shows the pass of time. You go back. Oh, they're a different day, but it's the same people in the same place. Okay, I now understand. Tell me the story. Fuck off.
It's just medium shot to medium shot to medium shot. I guess kind of a close-up, but I mostly call this, like a 2-shot, 3-shot medium. So they're going to go out and they're going to do their... Because it is nighttime. I mean, if you look out the window right here, it is still nighttime.
Well, I had to wait for his parents to get to bed before they could use the basement to film it.
I think so. Oh, we're back to... Oh, yes, Godzilla only has 2 shirts.
Yeah, Godzilla only has 2 shirts, and clearly this entire thing, they had the room for one afternoon to be able to film. So they've got Godzilla Tintin pasta in that one shirt because they blatantly filmed that all on the same day.
Yes, absolutely. They just switched where people were, and then we need to do another scene. I don't even remember what they talked about in this one, to be honest. It's all just end times BS from what I remember.
It's all end times nonsense. They're building up towards some end times thing. Yeah.
Oh, which we have at the end. We get to see
spoilers.
Yeah, the British Broadcasting or British News Network. Sorry. Which I died at. I died at that. I didn't.
Well, I died at the actual news it gives you because it's so. I genuinely. that could have been like, it would have been a mental film, but if they'd started with that and then told a story, that would have been at least interesting. It's a conceit that might work,
yes,
as like a piece of obvious fiction. But they tell a non-story about Christians doing nothing and then drop a massive bombshell on you, and it just blew me away.
All right, so we're going to show you the amazing work for Christ they do. I guess I'll have to fast forward this a little bit. Oh yes,
I've got
back to campus.
I've got at some point. Apologies, everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I must have forgotten this scene, but I've got it specially underlined. The 3-word phrase "jumps over dog."
Jumps over dog? I don't remember a dog.
Jumps over dog.
I don't remember the dog.
Well, it's specifically underlined, so it's going to happen.
I was trying to think. Jumps over dog? No, I don't.
Jumps over dog. It's just before she breaks her ankle. So at some point on the chase bit.
Okay, well, don't give it away. There's only one ankle break.
There are people waiting on fucking tenderhooks here, I'm sure.
There's only one chase.
Anyway, where are we?
We're at the amazing conversion for Christ.
Yeah, where they don't have like even if you were going to do like a performance, you'd have like a table set up with some literature for people, like flyers for people to take away. But no, these 4 absolute twats just decide to jump around.
And count the sleeves, by the way.
Yeah.
There's 4 T-shirts, but how many sleeves are there?
Exactly. One of them might have made minor alterations.
And guess who it was? So they attract the attention of this totally not made of family members crowd.
No, the woman there with the handbag, definitely not someone's mom. Definitely not.
And we, of course, we have the hand work, the hand cam work, because that's the only kind of camera we have. Yeah. Go!
And then they start doing really, really like mediocre, almost parkour. I mean, that bit's sort of parkour, but that isn't. Yeah, this is nonsense. And people are supposed to be impressed, but why are these people just stood there milling around anyway?
Because they're needed for the scene, Kev.
Well, exactly, yeah. But I mean, in a film, there's so much suspension of disbelief I'm prepared for.
I guess they were innocent people who were just minding their own business, going about their life on campus.
Yeah, just waiting, just standing in one area congregated for no reason. Because that's what often happens. People just coagulate like that. That bit is sort of almost good.
Yeah.
Almost one rail to the other, forward roll. No broken bones.
That guy's impressed.
That guy is absolutely riveted. He is literally about to flash his tits for the crowd.
Tina's like, I'm getting tired. Can we stop now?
Well, yeah, but she's got some dick to be sucking, clearly.
Yeah, that's way easier. And the people are amazed. And then they all do their not at all simultaneous somersaults.
Yeah, hand slaps. That was awesome. Now you all believe in Jesus.
Yeah. and Flyboy, who's been a Christian for all of 5 minutes and still sleeveless, just decides he's going to preach to this group of people and say, oh, do you think you're a good person going to go to heaven? And if you're not a Christian, you're wrong. You're not going to go to heaven judged by being a good person. So come, we've got free Bibles. Come and talk to us. And if you've ever been on a college campus, there are these kinds of people who are shouting at students all the time. Nobody goes and talks to them. But of course, in this fantasy movie, pretty much everybody sticks around to talk to them about Jesus.
Yeah. Kristi, he might have only been a Christian for 5 minutes, but he's an American first and foremost, and he has a right to bear his arms, okay?
Yes. All right, so they're so happy about their Parkour for Jesus ministry.
Hang on, is she, I didn't even realise this, is she also a Godzilla? The fuck is going on in this scene?
I think Sierra's
sat down?
Yeah, I think Sierra's just sat down like on a desk.
Okay.
And we've
I'll
got
let her off then.
Our amazing lighting.
Because if she is, she should hook up with the pastor. Because,
maybe she did.
Godzilla's... I mean, I'm not suggesting Godzilla shouldn't miscegenate. I'm just saying if they don't want to, it's in this cruel world, we find solace in different places. And maybe Godzillas need to be together. I don't know.
We've got the amazing lighting set up again. A lamp on the floor pointed... the actors.
Well, there's another lamp there. Why haven't they put that light on to stop the shadow a bit?
You would
something?
think, like 3-point lighting? Yeah. Never heard of it. Never heard of 3-point lighting.
No. Yeah, why do 3-point lighting when 1-point lighting is much cheaper?
And you can just see the shadows behind.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah.
They're not backlighting it at all to get rid of the shadows.
No,
just let them be there. That's fine. We like that look.
Yeah.
So they basically talk about what a great day they had and how awesome their ministry was. And there's an entire conversation, and then the pastor's like, "Oh wait, there's something I have to tell you." You want to take it over from here, Kev?
Hang on, I've forgotten where I am.
It's the note.
It's
the threatening note.
Oh yeah, the note. Yeah, someone leaves like a threatening note, and he says specifically it was about them. But he then reads it aloud, and it doesn't mention them at all.
No.
It is threatening, vaguely, but it doesn't mention them or their activities, anything. So it could just be anything. If that happened, you just throw it in the bin, because it's just nondescript rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just awful.
And he's saying,
I mean, I cannot describe how awful this film is. Words fail me.
So the pastor's like, this is dangerous.
The T-shirts are amazing. I just realised they're doing parkour on a crucifix.
Oh yeah, because if you go to the Leap entry and you look at the artwork for the film, it's the T-shirt. I don't know.
Wow. Sometimes it takes a leap of they're doing parkour on a crucifix. That is not at all blasphemous.
That's the same one.
And I'm sure Jesus would be totally fine with you mocking his execution in that way. Yeah.
Just jump up and down on it, swing off it. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's fine. That's not sacrilegious in the slightest. You are good Christians.
Yeah. So that's why I kept the IMDb thing up so we could look closer at the logos. So they're like, okay,
is the reason, yes.
It's getting dangerous. And then I think it's coming up to your favorite scene. Here we go, Kevin. I think we have to get through.
I don't know which one, which scene is this? Oh my God. I laugh so much my stomach hurts.
Okay, should we watch it? Should we watch the scene?
Yeah, we'll just watch it, right? I don't want to ruin it for you, but this is arguably, I think, the most dramatic moment in cinema since ever. Yeah, basically.
Tina and Flyboy.
I don't think there's been a more dramatic moment.
Making plans to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Just walking along.
Is he wearing a do-rag? Or is that a cap? That's a cap. Okay, sorry. And then you kind of almost see one of them get hit, but not really. And then nothing. And then they're just in the back of the van.
There's a guy driving.
Yeah, guy driving.
And my gosh,
he doesn't get to say anything.
No.
And then Tiny Arms McGee.
We're back to the start of the movie. We're back to where we opened with someone holding a gun to somebody's face. And I don't know, do you want to kind of describe what happens here as I fast forward?
Yeah, they're doing the whole thing that would definitely happen in a kidnap situation of asking you about theology.
Mm-hmm.
Where they say, "Are you a Christian?" And Tina Slutty McSlutface says no, because she's a dirty sinner, as we all know.
Yeah.
And she then asks, he, because it's still a he at this point, asks old Mr. Parkour, "Are you a Christian?" And he says, "Yes, because he's an outlaw." And in America or Canada, predominantly.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit.
And he takes the mask off, and it's not a he at all. Oh, sorry. Takes the mask off. It's not a he at all.
It's Sweetheart.
Mrs. Parkour Man.
Who apparently roped in a friend to commit felony kidnapping.
Yeah.
Because, that's what you do for your friends.
Exactly, yeah. You've both committed a very, very serious crime.
Yes.
Well, no, because we literally saw him tackle the woman to the ground and drag her.
That's true.
You don't see him drag her, but presumably he did actually drag her to the car. And then there's a weird bit where I both agreed with Sweetheart and had to call her up on something because she starts going on about how the Christians are holding you against their will in a cult. And I thought to myself, bitch, you just kidnapped them. You're holding them at gunpoint. It's true. That's often how cults and indeed mainstream religions do their thing, but you don't really have a leg to stand on in that regard right now. Not at this specific moment, no?
I also want to point out that the only reason this is a close-up is because they're filming inside a car. Like, it's not a medium shot because there wasn't enough room to do a medium shot. So that's why you get these more like close-ups.
And they obviously couldn't afford like a low rider or anything like that. There was no, or a side vehicle or no. It's literally just them in a car. Yep. Look at that. Composition.
All right, so
but he breaks out.
No, well, we have to. Tina saves the day here, right? He says yes, he believes in God, and she says, and then Tina makes her move. She's like, take this bitch down, and you get out and help me. And Flyboy's like, fuck you, bitch, I'm out of here. He just leaves her. He just leaves Tina. Tina makes the jump, and this driver guy's like, ah! Yeah,
driver suddenly realizes something is happening many seconds after it has.
Yeah.
Tina gets shot in the most undramatic way. Okay.
Yeah, and then Sweetheart. Yes, and Flyboy face off.
For some reason.
Yeah, wait for it. She throws.
Oh, he runs. But she drops the fucking gun, but then chases him.
She throws the gun away and chases him. What?
Yeah, either you want to catch him and kill him, in which case you could have just shot him and left, begun your fruitless escape attempt, because blatantly in public you just killed 2 people, or just don't. But now they're doing a weird parkour chase, and now we get to the point where my note of jumps over dog. Oh. So that must happen sometime now. That's not a dog. That's definitely not a dog.
See what you thought a dog was. Also, why shoot this always at the end of the day when the shadows are long and the color is terrible? Oh, wow, a still scene. That's amazing. Oh, squish a flower. Yeah. Oh, extreme close-up of a flower. They're starting to get the hang.
Dramatic.
This is actually like by the end of the movie.
This bit really annoyed me because there's a fucking gap in the fence. You could have just run through. You didn't need to jump over and slow yourself down at all.
Like here, you don't have to jump over. Yeah. Just keep going.
Needless. That's really slowing you down. And why does she also follow suit? She literally has to make up the distance here. Why is she doing the needless parkour as well?
Also, as we pointed out, without a gun, he could just turn around and cold clock her. Her arms are as big as his wrists.
He could snap her arms like fucking twiglets.
Oh, there's the dog.
Jumps over dog. There we go. Fucking hell. So it's not an actual dog, it's a massive bronze dog. So in order to work out where this is filmed, you could just Google massive bronze dog university campus, and that would be enough. Yes. Again, there are stairs there. You don't need to be jumping up stuff. That's unnecessary.
Oh, and by the way, we should say that earlier in the film, when he was first met the Christian people, they said, "Have you ever used parkour to get away from someone?" And he says, "Not yet." And they say, "Oh, well, maybe God is teaching you this for a reason." And he's, "I don't believe in that kind of stuff." Now, again, he could throw her off the fucking roof at this point. But there you go. Here's his leap of faith. And he makes the jump.
He jumps. Yeah. But does she?
Oh.
No, she breaks her ankle. Silly bitch. So Jesus.
Instead of calling the police.
Again, gap in the fence. Why are you jumping the fence?
So he just fucking runs away from her. He doesn't like, "Oh, you're down. Yeah. I'm going to call the police on you now." He just runs from her.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just kidnapped, held at gunpoint, transported to a destination at that point, saw his friend be murdered, and was then chased by the assailant, who he must have assumed was still armed.
Well, except
at no point did he think, I tell you, the first place I'm going to go is probably the police at this point. This seems like a rather large series of federal crimes which have taken place, for which these 2 people need to be put in jail. Yes. No, that doesn't happen.
Happily, Sierra and Yuri here, who are kind of dating now, don't actually want to be physically close to each other. And
that would be impure. They're not married, Kristi.
Yeah. And they also like to hang out in Flyboy's house. Like, they don't have their own house. Yeah.
Well, they do, but it's literally just the one-room shack she lives in the student digs with a bath, which we saw. She's definitely got a bath. Does she also have other parts of a house?
Maybe what happened was they had very disappointing sex at this point. Like, they had sex on the couch. It didn't go that well. So now they feel awkward and are keeping their distance.
Yeah, and he's thinking, well, thankfully, I mean, there's no mess to clear up, so We call it quits.
So even though they have
That's what
mobile
I reckon.
phones, Flyboy doesn't use his. He just shows up going, "Oh, I got chased, and it was Tina, and oh, sorry, it was Sweetheart." And then, wait, what happened to Tina? And they all realize that Tina is dead. And this is their horror
and they
face.
all seem, yeah, look at that. That man needs an Oscar clunked around his fucking head. That is, yeah, in Minecraft, of course. Yeah, the acting is so fucking bad. But the katanas are in the background. I nearly said size. That would have been correct. Fuck that noise. The katanas are in the background again, you say?
Where? I didn't see the katanas. Oh, is it
There they are.
sticking out of her head?
Yeah, but when you're the wide shot, because there's a wide shot. See the wide shot?
Yeah.
Kind of. There you go.
These things on the wall. That's what I said before. That's what I was talking about when I said katanas. Anyway,
yeah, I
doesn't
know.
matter.
That's why. I was recalling them. It was a callback moment, Kristi. Yes.
Size of katanas. So I got confused. All right. Anyway, so then they, for some reason, those are the size they keep telling us. Then we have to, for some reason, like have a lot.
I sized their fucking katanas. So shut up.
Yeah, then there's an entire sort of like dragged out thing that goes on for way too long about Tina.
Which they don't even bother with the 1-point lighting in this scene. There's nothing.
Nope.
Yeah. So they hold a vigil for Tina. Don't go to the police.
Nope. He doesn't turn in Sweetheart.
No.
Oh, Godzilla's Godzilla. And he's doing this.
Yeah, Godzilla's trying to quell the rage within.
And doing it
because every time he goes past the skyscrapers downtown, he has to resist the urge. He doesn't want to go back to his old ways. He's been clean 2 years now. Don't throw it all away, Goddo.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, and he's really respectful in his wrinkled ass t-shirt doing this.
Yeah, but it is his other t-shirt, so at least they put him in the other t-shirt this time.
Everyone has at least 2 pieces of clothing to wear in the course of this movie. So this is Sierra looking sad. Oh, my friend Tina. And then the pastor has to warn.
But don't worry, she's riding Dick in the great
in the hereafter
cock carousel in the sky, so it's all good.
The pastor has to bring the parkour ministry to an end. It's just too dangerous.
Yeah, I was about to say, does this really? He says I'm gonna have to disband your ministry. A ministry is just like an individual thing you have no power over, you twat. So shut up. And secondly, does this even ministry? They did one event where they parkoured and did nothing else. So, like, is that a ministry, really? I'm not sure. But anyway, all of the people in this film are dislikable in one way or another.
Oh, hey, look at this. The bronze bulldog, a bronze bulldog stands at the north entrance of the MacArthur Athletic Center on the Gonzaga University campus. It's a private Catholic university in Spokane, Washington. Well, they're King James, so I don't know if that works, but it is a location. So thank you, Mr. Voidful. That's amazing research you've done there. I mean, maybe they just deigned to use Catholic property for their...
All I know is that they have a reasonably decent basketball program at Gonzaga. That is all.
Oh, okay. And here's the ugly-ass calendar that I told you about. Pretty sure that says August up there. Not entirely sure.
But that doesn't mean anything because this is a prop. Who knows?
Because they didn't just film the day with all on location with everything that just happened to be there. No, they didn't do that at all.
No, Kristi, this is a well thought out piece of set design. How dare you? And you've cleverly fallen for their filming in August ruse, you noob.
What with it being summer and that really awkward lighting at the end of the day.
It's June, so shut up.
So they have another long scene. I'm just going to try to get ahead here. Then of course, so they have another Tina funeral scene.
Yeah, they have a Tina funeral scene. Again, at no point do we see any involvement from law enforcement officials.
Nope.
Even though very, very serious crimes have taken place involving people we know are involved in this, and the fact that you've have information about that and have not hidden it would suggest that you may be an accomplice to that crime. I'd want to clear my name.
And,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, for some reason, the pastor...
What evidence does does Flyboy have that he wasn't involved in the kidnap and murder of this woman?
I want to. So one thing is, the pastor says he's not going to do the service. I don't know why. Maybe he wasn't available that day, or whatever. But I'm pretty sure the guy who's doing the service is the getaway driver. Now that I look at him,
almost certainly. Yeah.
How ironic.
It's well, exactly.
Also, check out this
Hunter
bling.
turned gamekeeper, if you will.
Yes. Because it's super cool to wear sunglasses during a service like this.
Once they noticed the pizza continuity problem, they were like, "Fuck it! If they've watched this far, are they going to care? Just stick Dave in. I know he was the driver. Who cares?
Nobody will notice."
Yeah.
And then we're getting near, I guess, to the ending. Oh, which we absolutely... Okay, so there's this funeral. They walk away. Again, like Yuri and...
Apparently, click on Tony's link for us. See if it's the real in the chat. Sorry. Let's see if this is actually... If they filmed this at Gonzaga, because that changes everything. Let's have a look.
Looks to be the bulldog. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right there.
Okay, so they filmed it in Gonzaga in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah. So pretty much Canada.
Cool.
You can see the snow.
Well,
in August.
Well, I mean, you don't like it when I do that joke about Wisconsin, do you? And you are at the same latitude, so behave yourself.
I'm stealing your joke. So yeah, there it is. Jump over dog. There's the dog.
Yeah, jumps over dog. One of the great pieces of film ever.
We don't need this anymore.
Taking heart out.
Yes. And then we have what was my favorite part of the film, because the friends have gotten together, and I'm going to have to fast forward. They start talking about, they're watching the news.
She is not wearing appropriate funeral attire.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
Subtitles.
But they're just always in his fucking house.
Yeah, that's...
like, that's what always annoys me about these fucking, like, in like Friends, where they're always in, like, Phoebe's always in one of their apartments in downtown Manhattan, even though she lives like somewhere else completely. But why aren't you ever in your own fucking house? What's wrong with you? What?
Don't you pay rent there for a reason? Go spend time in it. You paid for it.
Yeah. Like, I understand spending some time at your friend's house, but also, if I was that friend, I'd be like Phoebes, you know we love you, man, but can you fuck off a bit? Jesus, you're always here eating my fucking food and shit. You want to start paying rent? That might be different, but you know. Anyway,
so yes.
So far in this movie, literally nothing has happened.
No, that was
it.
They
decided to drop an amazing bombshell on us at the end, which blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, apparently.
Getting his pump on there, getting ready for prison, because they're definitely gonna blame it on him.
To save its economy, the United States has merged its government. I don't know what that means. And currency with Europe. Just Europe.
Yeah, not the European Union or something like that. No, just all of it. The landmass. So only half of Russia up to the Ural Mountains and then down to the Caucasus gets cut off there. Malta and Crete can, although Cyprus will be held every other Sunday, with Africa taking most of the responsibilities there. Yeah.
Yes.
Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And not just that, but they talk about it as if this is a completely out of the blue. But if some massive merger like that were to ever take place, that would be huge. There'd be huge negotiations and a coming together and big fucking international diplomatic meetings and conferences and shit. But all of a sudden, it's just breaking news on the British News Network,
which we'll see in a second. It's amazing.
I imagine the BBC. They thought, we don't want to give the BBC free advertising. The BBC were desperate to get involved in this movie, but they were like, no, we're not giving them free advertising. We're calling it the British News Network. Fuck them. Okay, we don't need the BBC here, right? And it's just a 14-year-old reading the news about this earth-shattering piece of political news.
Yeah, they could have actually been peppering this kind of stuff throughout the movie. Now that you mentioned it, they could have said at the beginning, while they were like sitting around and turned something off, saying, "Oh, the United States and Europe and the EU are in talks to merge into a single government in order to save their economies."
Yeah, well, talking about the thing about transitions and establishing shots, what they could have done is have an establishing shot of his apartment, or just, well, what we assume is the exterior of his apartment, with, say, a car sat on the parked in the sidewalk with its engine running, a guy inside, and you hear the radio overheard, and them saying, "Oh, the US government and the EU are in negotiations, blah 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 blah." 2 in 1. It foreshadows this piece of news, and secondly, gives us an establishing shot telling us where the fuck we are.
Yeah, like they could have in the car.
That would be a really good, useful piece of filmmaking advice for the idiots who made this.
As it is, all we have is him showing some blank piece of paper he says he found on the internet that they're going to put chips in your hands.
Infowars.com, where I picked up some super male vitality.
All right, so yes, they're going to be like, there's this is the British
General Hydric YouGov. What?
I don't think it was
that's
the actual.
That's got to be a translation problem.
That's an auto-generated one. Yeah. But that's the British News Network. It's a guy who looks like
Each citizen of the single currency nation receive. Literally, but clearly a child.
Yes.
This is not a. This is with. Why is the deep V-neck equivalent of the widow's peak?
Yes, he's just dressed
almost
like
down to his fucking eyebrows. I mean, incredible. Yeah.
Oh, and I got
like some sort of like the mediocre kid from the Munsters that no one talks about.
he's and his name as well.
George Darling. You fucks.
And he's just a reporter. He's not like the European business correspondent or anything. He's just George Darling, reporter.
He's generic reporter. Yep. Okay.
And so,
we'll receive
a new microchip.
What will they receive, Kristi? A new microchip credit
in their
card
right hand.
right in their hands.
As a
the symbol of the new nation's authority.
It's the size
again,
of
it says in the thing, nations will rise and nations will fall. Yeah, like forever.
Yep.
Motherfucker, the nations that existed at the time of writing the Bible don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like, the Roman Empire came and went fucking 1,300 years ago or whatever. Like, come on, this is embarrassing, man.
Yep.
Fuck's sake.
And earlier when he had his piece of paper that he slid over to Pastor Godzilla, he said, "Oh, the
Godzilla,
microchip."
not Gonzaga.
No,
you made him Hispanic. For no... Anyway, Pastor Gonzalez said, "Ay caramba," and started dancing around and eating.
Yeah.
So
he mentioned the thing about the microchip being the size of a grain of rice, and now it's being repeated here at the end of the movie. Are you still there, Kev? Oh, yes. Okay. I can hear you.
Yeah. Well, Speedy Gonzalez was ahead of the times, clearly.
And now they're like, oh my gosh, it's starting just as the Bible said.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. Could this film be any shitter, really? Everything about it is awful.
Like, oh, but what can we do? And I don't know, the auto generation just dropped out.
We can fuck like rabbits and take heroin.
Yeah.
The world is over.
That's it.
No, he didn't say that.
No, I don't remember.
That would have been a way better ending, actually, because that would have been.
Would have been a surprise.
Like, show us that scene. Yeah. The fuck? At least that would be an actual film with something happened.
Yeah. And that was it. Like, anyway. Of course, there's another one. There's the follow-up to Leap 2, Rise of the Beast.
Well, you said I get to choose next time. I actually want to do the follow-up to this because this has been amazing. Because the thing is, right, this film wasn't as racist as
his name was Michael.
Chicks.
It wasn't Yuri, it was Michael.
But his real name's Yuri Alexiev. Why not just go with that? That's an awesome name. Fuck's sake. Anyway.
Roman, but yeah. That was it. That was the whole
What did
cast.
I say?
You said Yuri. But
7.
It's Roman.
Roman Alexiev. Okay,
Roman is actually a good name too. Yeah, just go with that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so this film isn't as racist as White Chicks.
No.
And it isn't as mental, ironically, as Zarda. Zardoz, but it's in so many ways. It's just technically the worst of the films we've seen. At least in Zardoz, whilst none of the things that happen make any sense, at least they happen, which it shouldn't be a selling point for a film, but it is in this instance. And at least White Chicks is competently made. Like, it actually, like, the lighting's fine by and large. Like, the actors can actually act for the most part, even though, well, other than the Wayans brothers, who are shit. But anyway, Terry Crews saves it.
Terry Crews saves that movie.
Terry Crews and his unfeasibly massive cock save the film, frankly. Yeah. So this is just awful. This film was a bit racist and not very good. And
homophobic. So homophobic.
And homophobic, yeah. Yep. And a little bit sexist.
Yes. Very. Yeah. There was some sexism in there.
Not easy sexist compared to like some Christian films you'll get, but you know.
Yeah.
A bit.
He's actually it was Rise of the Beast. Yes. He must have done. This is the because his name is El Director. Because that's not pretentious. And I guess it's Rise of the Beast that he does the commentary for. I guess he couldn't stand sitting through the original Leap because he says I've never done, so I have to wait. Yeah.
So when we watch that one, we'll also watch the director's commentary thing because that could be quite fun.
Yes, the director's commentary. There's a trailer, I think, if you want to see it.
Oh, let's.
Okay, let me get the sound up.
Hang on. Whoa. Is that a different blonde woman, or have they resurrected old Slutty McGee, whatever her name was? Tina. Fucks.
I don't know. I haven't seen this yet. All right. I have no idea what the volume on this is going to be like, so we're just going to roll with it.
It's just when you went on to, you know, when you go onto it and the thumbnail disappears and they show you random stills, and it was like a blonde one. I was like, is that the same? They've not. No, they're not going to pull some like fucking Jesus bullshit. She's resurrected because we saw them bury her.
Yes, they had a funeral. They can't bring her back.
No, in the cemetery right next to the fucking motorway.
Yeah. Yeah, the one time they didn't ADR it, you couldn't hear shit because of all the background noise.
I mean, I'm sure that was the one with really cutting dialogue, really well acted, but you couldn't hear what the fuck they were saying because they were literally right next to like a fucking 10-lane highway or something.
Yes. All right, you ready for the trailer?
In Spokane, Washington. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
All right. How is the sound? Did you hear anything, or should I turn it up a bit? I might have turned it up.
You haven't heard anything.
All right. Well, it is, but okay, here we go.
At the suggestion of the former United States, the Vatican officially passed a new law mandating that all citizens of the world government must attend Mass. In light of the recent calamities on our cities, Pope Matthew says that the decline of morality has brought God's wrath upon us. In an attempt to save us all from total destruction, the Pope believes that universal attendance to church will show the Lord that there is still...
Oh, the Catholics are the evil one. Is that what it's going on?
Yeah, well, because this is Protestant stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
They filmed on a fucking Catholic university property, didn't they?
Yeah, because the Catholics are stupid enough to allow people of other denominations of Christianity to exist sometimes when they have to. When they're legally forced to have to do so. Anyway, so they've already gone with the pretty significant layers of racism, both against Catholics and vaguely Hispanic people.
Well, I want to say it's such an improvement over the British News Network background. I'm already impressed.
To be fair,
they did a green screen
it does look
time.
like an actual sort of news broadcast thing.
Well, it looks like a professional green screen. Because you can kind of see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Look, you wouldn't be happy with that as your actual news, but it looks like it's supposed to be a news.
Yes.
Thing. But it's also like she might as well be wearing a fucking sombrero and playing maracas. Like, come on.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
So... As a compliance incentive, the Vatican intends to use the chip implants released 2 years
in a world where immorality runs rampant.
ago as the now only acceptable form of currency. Failure to...
The Vatican has taken control.
Comply with the new laws is punishable by
this is going to be anti-Catholic stuff, isn't it?
And fulfilled prophecy.
So when they said the mark of the beast, they meant Pope, didn't they?
Yep. Oh, he's really stepped up his production.
Yeah. Oh wow.
The Vatican is instituting a universal faith.
This universal religion is based on what is right for the human race and not on ancient writings.
Meaning, I know it's a different blonde woman.
I think that was the blonde woman from the outdoor Bible study. I think she was in one of the earlier, like the middle Bible study.
Possibly.
Things. Yeah.
Well, they needed a blonde woman for the film.
Yes.
It's like Fox News. You can't have a broadcast without a blonde woman. Come on.
All right, here we go.
Todd, check this out. I was making some notes about what the Bible really says about the Antichrist. I think
still got the shitty handheld.
Talking about the Vatican.
Yeah.
Why is this being tied to the chip?
What if the chip isn't?
Jesus Christ!
At least
that's
not
a joke. I said that as a joke.
No.
And it's literally what it is. That's literally. I said that. I said when they said Antichrist, they mean Pope as a joke, thinking, nah, they won't be that ridiculous. And he literally said it.
Yep.
Amazing.
Also, he said it like he was the first person to have that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, like fucking like crazy Protestants haven't been saying that forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally since the inception of Protestantism, for fuck's sake.
All right, here we go.
Not all of it. What if there's more to it?
What do you mean?
Most passages that talk about the mark also talk about worship. Is it possible, knowing that the Vatican is the beast, that by going along with the new law...
He's still shirtless, and they're still just hopping over things that are about
And they've
waist
still got katanas. Yes.
Size. And that stupid fucking stick. Is still
and the stick's still there, the tiki masks. He's got the one, but now he's added the t-shirt. Fucking DVDs. Jesus.
Will we be following the beast?
But plenty of good Christians worship on Sunday.
The Vatican admits it changed worship from Saturday to Sunday.
But in remembrance of Christ's resurrection.
The reason doesn't matter. All that matters is that they made the change and the world went along with it.
No. He puts the fucking box on his head and then pushes it in the head.
You really want to watch this now, don't you?
This film has already killed me. It's literally already killed me. I came back to life. I was briefly out of the grave, and this film has killed me again.
I'll have to say Flyboy's hair is better now. I mean, it's still, I don't know, it's kind of David Hasselhoff-ish now. But,
well, because he's now a legal adult, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
The world wondered after the beast.
So according to you guys, Vatican City is this beast, and somebody's
Lots of
in the
cardboard.
mountains broadcasting cryptic messages. You know you're crazy, right?
But why would a religious power...
Zaga. They're making anti-Catholic, bigoted propaganda
on their campus.
The grounds of a Catholic university.
It's so subversive.
Surely they must have the right to say, no, you can't do that.
Well,
surely.
They probably don't look
at
at
a private institution.
Yeah, but if they just submit a request to film, they probably don't ask about the content of everything that gets filmed on their campuses, unless it's porn.
Well, presumably... Well, yeah, exactly. I was about to say, what about if you go, oh, we want to film some bestial porn on your grounds, is that okay? Yeah, go on then. Right.
All right.
Probably not, I imagine.
No, they just want to say they want to hump the dog. That's what they mean. All right.
Yeah, and they assume they mean the big bronze bulldog, which is weird, but not illegal. So, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Now, I have not seen this movie, so this will be an exciting adventure for both of us when we watch it.
Toss away the Bible.
Maybe they never
already. Just the moment of the box on the head.
Well, he's definitely increased the quality of his camera from an iPhone, so that's good. And he's learning to do more than just medium shots, which is good. But there's still too much handheld.
Yeah, there looks like some... Yeah, but just the box on the head already. I can sense this is going to be really good. And when I say really good, I mean appropriate this series.
All right, here. Watch this guy run closer to us.
No.
That was so obviously a computer added special effect.
I wish I had my camera on for that to record
Your face.
I've never been so shocked in my life at how obviously fake that is. No, there's no way this is happening. Look at that. Look at that, Kristi, for God's sake.
I'm dead.
Yeah, we're both now dead. This film, this trailer has killed both of us.
See,
I hope you're very happy, Mr. Brain.
This was the money shot. This was actually probably the most expensive special effect.
Yeah. That special effect probably cost more than the first film entirely.
Well, the software did for sure that they bought to put
yeah. Yeah. I thought the box on the head was going to be the worst of it, and I wasn't close.
Well,
so is that not just that, but is that the Catholic Church showing them up?
I don't know. We haven't seen it yet.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Well, now
that is.
If you want to experience all of it in its not multiple times fast forwarded glory with all of its unbalanced audio and endless close-up shots or medium shots with no establishing shots, the link is in the description box below. You guys can go check out that.
Yeah, but don't. So, save yourselves the 1 hour 21 minutes and 10 seconds. It's shit. I'll give this 0 parkours out of 10.
So right now is it white chicks?
I do give it 1 Godzilla out of 10.
Is it 1 Godzilla? Is it white chicks, Zardos, and then Leap Parkour full movie?
Yes. Yeah.
I would have to agree with that ranking system so far.
Yeah, I will give it 1 begrudging Godzilla Tintin out of 10.
Because he was in there. You kind of have to give it to him.
Because he was in there. Yeah. That's fair enough. Very long,
Oh, so thank you for suffering through that with me. I thought that you would not enjoy it, but sort of also enjoy it in the way that we don't sort of suffer through bad movies. So.
Yeah, this is. Thank you for bringing this into my life, Krista.
Now you'll never think about.
It's one of those things. I know it's a really, really bad movie if I get angry, and I got angry at this. I genuinely. The thing is, right? A Paul is just like not a good film. I can sit there and watch and think, whatever. Whereas something that's egregious like this offends me because there's no excuse for really obviously. Let's be honest, this film was not enormously high budget. And there's always like the constraints on a budget. So there's always going to be little loose ends that aren't perfect and all the rest of it. But there's no excuse for like literally some of the really basic shit, like no panning shots, no overly long fucking montages, the appalling lighting. No, you've not even an attempt to do lighting properly.
Or the audio. Yeah, no
that
actual
twist at the end, which was literally just out of nowhere. Like a twist is supposed to be like a thing that is at least vaguely plausible within the world you've created in this film, whereas this is just nothing, which is that's ridiculous. What the fuck are you doing? And so it made me angry because you're insulting your viewer. You're basically saying you're so shit, you people, that I'm going to serve you this pap and expect you to accept it. It's ridiculous. And they made a follow-up. I mean, what?
Yep.
Who thought we need second helpings of this?
Well, it was a two-parter.
Yeah, it reminds me of the great Hank Hill quote about Christian rock. You're not making Christianity better, you're just making rock and roll worse. And the same is true here. You're not making Christianity better, you're making film and the lives of your viewers worse. Stop, El Director.
Right. So, and scene. Welcome to the end of this episode of Trash Movies, featuring Leap, available now and maybe forever on YouTube. So.
Yeah, technically it's on the internet, so it's probably available forever. But just because it's available, it's like just like hard drugs, just because they're available doesn't mean you should do them.
Yep. All right. Well, and then Kevin's picked out our next movie, so I guess we're going to have to watch the follow-up, Leap, Rise of the Beast.
You can't watch that movie and then not watch the follow-up.
You don't want to leave the
especially when you watch the trailer.
What happens next?
And already, the box on the head and that amazing Die Hard-esque production quality explosion, which I genuinely wish my camera had been on for that, because my jaw literally dropped. I was so shocked at that production. Oh my god.
We did talk about recording ourselves watching these movies, but then we decided it was too much work.
I was literally well, yeah, because I've seen it, so I know it's coming.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting that. Fucking hell. And they put it in the trailer. I thought, we've paid for the software. We're putting it in the fucking trailer.
Yeah, it's going to show up everywhere.
Notice. They'll think it's a real explosion.
Good stuff. All right, so...
and on that bombshell, literally.
Yes, on that After Effects bombshell. It's going to be goodbye from me. Oh, by the way, thanks for the chat. Thanks for all the corrections. Thanks for everybody who stopped by. Appreciate your time.
You didn't correct us on anything. There was katanas. Fuck off.
And also on Twitch, where we're streaming. Thanks for stopping by Kev's channel.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying no. I'm not thanking them. Fuck them. All of you.
All right.
No, I'm only joking.
Kevin's going to be assy. No. All right. So,
I've still got the Verb and Supreme tag open. Sure. I didn't say that out loud. I mean, just interrupting you now.
Yes. I'm trying to do the outro, and you're talking about your
you are. And I'm just interrupting you because I'm an arsehole. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what's happening right now.
Well, until next time, Kevin's an asshole, and I have to put up with him. I've been Kristi. No,
you
goodbye
don't have to be fair.
No, I choose
to. You don't have to.
I'm a masochist in that way. I've been Kristi.
Yeah.
The chat's been awesome. Kevin's been awesome. This movie's been awful. Goodbye from me, and goodbye from the Kevster. Say goodbye, Kevstar.
Goodbye, Kevster.
Yay, you did the bit.
Did the bit.